Welcome to the Sam and Joe VA Show, where we teach women just like you how to start and scale a thriving virtual assistant business.
We're your hosts, Sam and Joe, and get ready to have the control, flexibility, and freedom you've always dreamed of.
Welcome to episode 56, Aspiring VA's Biggest Fears.
Yeah, for a lot of women and men who are trying to create or want to create their very own virtual assistant business, it's the first time that they're kind of dipping their toes into this business, this wacky, wild, and wonderful business world, which is exciting, but it can also be really, really scary for a lot of people. And so we want to talk about the fears we see a lot of people coming into the VA world with. And just to let you guys know that you're actually not alone. These fears are really, really common. And I would say 95% of virtual assistants come into the industry with these fears.
They definitely do. And some of them let us know when they come into our Facebook groups. We ask questions like, what is your biggest struggle at the moment? And often it is around I don't know if I'm good enough. Yeah. I don't know if I have enough skills. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get clients. I have a fear of failing. I don't want to look stupid. I don't want to try and then like everyone around me see me fail and burn and it not work out. I can't afford to make this not work. So am I going to actually make money? Can I afford to actually set this business up? All of these fears around this business and whether it's actually going to work for them or not.
Yeah, there's a lot of fear on that list. Did you ever feel any of that?
Not much. I am in this very blessed position where I don't have much negative self-talk. And I don't want that to sound really arrogant, but I didn't realize that I didn't have much negative self-talk, and a lot of people experience a lot until one day we were having a team like coaching session with a personality profile style person. And in there, one of the questions she asked was, what percentage of your self-talk is negative? And I went first and I was like, maybe 5%. And then other people spoke and they said like 80%. And so that was the first really big realization that I actually am very different to most people in terms of that negative self-talk and the way that I think of myself. So I think that also really helps not have so many fears around things. And I'm not afraid to fail, because when we talked about this in the previous episode, nobody actually cares. And it's really, really harsh to think that no one actually cares whether your business does well or not, other than your like close family and friends. They want to support you and see you do well in business. But nobody actually is going to care whether your business is a success or not in that wider like network that you have. And so I think I try and, it's not that I remind myself that, but I'm very aware that other people, it doesn't really matter to them. So why does it matter so much to me if I fail at something? At least I gave it a go. And you don't want to live your life having regrets that you didn't do something, because that's the regrets you have, right? That you didn't do something or give something a go. It's not, you don't ever regret what you did do. Well, unless you do something bad and end up in prison or something. But it's more often that you'll regret at the end of your life the things that you didn't do. So I just give everything a go. And you're the same, aren't you, Sam?
Yeah, I am. It's not that I don't have fears. I definitely have fears. I think I just don't let them stop me doing anything. Because you just touched on it, regret. From a very young age, I kind of have been really aware of not wanting to regret anything in life. I don't know where that came from. I've got no idea. It's just something that's always been big in my mind, I think. So whenever an opportunity's come my way, despite sometimes being absolutely terrified, I've just gone, you know what? But what's the best that could happen in the situation? So kind of not the worst, but what's the absolute best? Wow, this could be huge. What an amazing opportunity. So it's not that I don't have those fears, because I do. I just simply don't let it stop me. So whether that's just not caring what other people think about me, a little bit.
Like, we do take things personally if there's like a personal attack or a comment made. Like, absolutely,
Yeah.
that would be very normal in human nature. But we
Yes.
don't let that hold us back or stop us.
Yeah, and maybe that's a bit of upbringing as well. Like, I always have felt as though I've had some amazing cheerleaders behind me. Like, I've always had other women in my life that have been huge supporters and have always gone, you know what? Of course you can bloody well do it. Why wouldn't you? So, yeah.
Surrounding yourself with positive, supportive people is definitely something that can help with those fears, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So should we go through some of those fears that we mentioned and try and kind of switch things round? So we'll talk about the fear and then go, well, hey, what if you look at it this way instead?
Yeah, then the not being good enough. Like, am I good enough to actually do this business and create this business?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. You know what? Most women that think about becoming a virtual assistant, they have got years of experience in a 9 to 5 admin, PA, EA role. Hey, look, someone's paid you for years to do what you're doing. So the skills and experiences that you've already got are more than enough moving into this VA world.
Yeah, they're not expecting anything more than what you've already done in a previous role. Like,
Yeah.
if you're putting yourself forward for those types of services, you do know those. You
Mhm.
are good enough. You've been good enough. I love how you say, Sam, someone's paid you for years to do that. So why would someone
Yeah,
not pay you now?
exactly.
Yeah.
Um,
And that goes into the not skilled enough too, doesn't
it
it? Like,
does. It does.
you have those skills and experience. You've built them up over years. That's all you need. You don't need to have anything beyond what you currently have done in what you've done in previous roles that you've brought through and you have currently right now. There's not some big secret thing that you have to know about now, not at all. You really are delivering a service, just what you've done before in
Yeah.
a slightly different way.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, what about the fear around I'm not going to get clients? What if I don't get clients?
Yeah, well, I love that. Someone's paid you before. Someone's trusted you before, someone's hired you before. So why would someone not hire you now? Like, it just
Is
doesn't
this
make
going to be
sense.
the answer to all of our questions?
And so many people now understand the benefit of hiring a virtual
Mm,
assistant. And because there are so many virtual assistants, let that actually be a reason why you will get a client, because it's becoming a lot more common knowledge about what a virtual assistant is and how it works. And, being in lockdowns and people having to think about remote working and contracting being like what people are predicting is going to be the future of work. You're right at the forefront of that. And people know that that's coming. People know how to work remotely now. So if everyone else is getting clients, why would you not get clients?
yeah. Hello.
And something else to add in there too is that we are experiencing an unprecedented number of leads coming into the business at the moment
Mm,
over in my VA agency. And we are not out there selling or reaching out to people or cold calling or anything like that. This is organic stuff coming in. People found us online. One of my team members is in BNI. People are just inquiring, and they're not even people that we've heard of before. It's brand new people inquiring all the time. So if we're getting lots of leads, there is tons of people out there who are looking for a virtual assistant.
there is so much work out there at the moment. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm not going to make enough money. going to make enough money from this VA gig. That's a fear.
Yeah, that's about getting smart and learning from, let's say, the members club, from us, from this podcast, ways to make sure that you have some premium pricing and that you're thinking of packages. And there's a whole bunch of ways of how you can actually make it really profitable for you and bring in the money that you want to make. There's absolutely ways to do that.
Yeah, we've got some great strategies, and we've got some people around us in our greater network who have got some unbelievably good pricing advice and tips and strategies to learn from as well. The information's out there. You just need to be strategic about it, right? I can't afford the setup costs. Maybe I need to get a business loan, but who's going to give me a business loan?
Yeah, I would really challenge anyone who thinks that they need to get a business loan, because the startup costs are so minimal if you really keep sight of what's essential and what's not essential. So you do not need a website. You do not need to pay for one of those. You do not need to pay for branding, logo, none of that. You seriously only need to have internet, laptop, and a few subscriptions. Like, make sure you have an email address. Like, that really is the bare minimum, and you'll figure the other stuff out and add costs into your business that make sense for you once you're bringing in some revenue. You just don't need it all right from the start.
Yeah, and if you haven't already listened to the podcast episode that we've done previously on the startup costs for virtual assistants, please go and have a listen to that after this one's finished. What would be another fear that we mentioned? The fear of what other people, the fear of other people thinking that a virtual assistant isn't a real job. It's not a real thing. You've just made it up.
You should Google virtual assistant and send them the link. It's a huge industry, and it's a growing industry. Just look around and realize that this is a legitimate business. This is something that people can make really great money doing and have a really great lifestyle. So, what's not legitimate about that?
Yeah, just because they may have never heard of it doesn't mean it's not real, right? Virtual assistants have been around for decades, not necessarily here in New Zealand for decades, but other countries for sure been around forever. Yeah. It is real deal thing.
There's going to be people who have all sorts of beliefs about all sorts of things in the world. That's how the world works. And so that's their belief. But if you have a different belief, and, we're proof of that, virtual assistant industry is growing, evolving, is huge. It's really huge. And so, yeah, that can be your belief. They can have their belief. So don't even worry about them.
Yeah, tell them to bugger off. I mean, I eat, live, and breathe all things virtual assistant. So I'm pretty sure my life is real, and I'm not in a dream.
And remember that people project their own fears onto you as well. So be careful of that. And it's like, actually, is that real, or is that them projecting that onto me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we've got a great previous episode that we would love anyone who has these fears to go and have a listen to. And that was number 16, wasn't it?
It is. Number 16 is imposter syndrome holding you back. So we had our business and life coach, Tracy Hancock, come in and chat to us about all things confidence and imposter syndrome. And really the fact that all these fears that we've talked about today, they are real and they're valid, and we get them, and you are not alone. So many others are experiencing them too. But you just can't let them stop you from just going for it, because it's the virtual assistants that have just gone for it. They're the ones that now have successful virtual assistant businesses.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Sam and Joe VA Show. If you'd like to find out more, head to the VA Foundry website to check out the Members Club and the amazing resources, training, and coaching.
You can find us at thevafoundry.com.